It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad. Like, have you heard of like laser hair removal?
I have.
That sounds like the future. If I heard about that like back in the day, I'd be like, what do you...
They just zap your hair follicle?
Do they do it in the nostrils? Is that a thing?
Why, are you having nose hair issues?
Bro, I always be like, I would be down.
And
you do it old school? You just like pluck?
With my nail, yeah.
You don't have like a trimmer?
I can't even.
I mean, I do, but sometimes you just see that one and you're like, oh, I could just do it right here.
Oh, I definitely have a few of those, and I try to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
What pisses me off is if I notice that hair after I've hung out with people for an entire day, and I'm like,
That always like, you couldn't tell me?
how many people have seen this?
I've had that when I gone on I did a shoot and I had a booger, and then I went back into my car and it was still there, and then I remember thinking like, why didn't it the other Chris?
Yeah.
Why didn't he say anything? Well, maybe because he didn't see it, but I was like, where else?
But I feel like that's anyone's excuse.
Yeah.
Okay, there's
hey,
like...
you have something here, or like...
Right?
It's just...
Well, there's different like thoughts of process. Like if you're so close with someone, sometimes you don't really like look at their face anymore. They just are who they are. So you're not like really looking at the details of their face. And so you could look past the booger.
I still struggle with that shit. Just being like, hey, bro, just get the... I mean, I guess if
Why?
it was... If it was you guys or any of the close friends, it's a lot easier, obviously. But like, if it's someone that's like more of an acquaintance, it's like, I want to help you. I don't know. It's fucking tough.
Why are you doing them shady by not helping
I know. It's so fucking tough.
I will do that with a stranger
Yeah,
if
me
I
too.
have to.
How would you do it? Like, how do you go about
Hey
it?
man, you got a little something. That's all. That's
You
it.
Like,
got a
That's
little
it.
something.
Hey man, I got you.
Like,
Like, yeah, you got a little something in your
Have
teeth.
you ever done it and that person was like mad at you, like felt embarrassed, and you felt that?
I know I could see that they felt embarrassed in the moment, but I could tell that they'd appreciate
Oh, yeah.
it. And that's what it comes down to. If I have something on my face, dry skin, or even a piece of lint, get that off of me. Because if I go home later that day, I'm certain I'm going to text you. I'm going to be like, yo, we got to talk about our friendship. Because if I was walking around with a booger hanging off my nostril for 8 hours, I need you to tell me.
Yeah, it's tough.
I have like muta, like the eye booger.
You guys can't say muta. Yeah.
I don't even know what muta
For the
is.
listeners out there.
Eye booger.
Yes.
That's
Eye
Tagalog?
crest.
Yeah, that's Tagalog.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, shoot.
And like midday, and I like will check in the mirror, and I tell Christian like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And you're like, "Oh, I didn't even see it."
Well, because your eyes are already so small that
Oh my God.
it's hard to even see that there's an eye booger in the crevice.
I feel like it's just okay.
It's okay. And like, I don't know. We see each other intimately, so usually the lighting's a little like set, so I can't see.
Sometimes we're out in public.
This is
broad
true.
as daylight.
Yeah, but you wear like those big ass diva sunglasses. I can't see.
Jeez.
Excuses.
Stunning on everyone.
I mean, I've told you before if you have something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you tell Jules
Yeah,
that?
me and Jules are like really good with that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
With like eye
And
crust and like anything.
it's always sometimes I'll see it and I'll like do it
Do
like
it
I'll do it
for
for her. She'll be like, "What the fuck?"
What, for eye crust? You'll take it right off?
Nah. Or like if my lips are chapped or if her lips are chapped, we kind of just like hand over it. We don't even say anything. We're just like casually talking. It's like, here's the chapstick, and it's just like nothing.
I feel like you just laugh at me. I think she just laughs at me and just says like my lips are chapped. Also, I'll know because
You'll say it out loud.
yeah, I'll be like my lips are so dry, or I'll laugh. Let's say, for instance, since it's been allergy season,
Oh yeah.
my nose will get clogged. I'll breathe out of my mouth more often, especially in my sleep, and I'll wake up with dry lips, and then like I'll know that it's chapped. Like if the first time I laugh that day because like my mouth stretches and I'm like, oh, that hurts. Or after having like spicy food, bye.
Oh my gosh. Have you had
Jeez.
spicy food with chapped lips?
I've had like sour candy.
Ooh.
Oh, did
with
that
chapped
mess you
lip.
up?
I feel like the sour candy caused the chapped lips.
Ooh, that's possible. Oh, if you have too
How?
much sour candy, it'll fuck up the insides of your mouth.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. It's
Unless
not
you're
the
just
lips.
like sucking on like sour candy with your lips, then you just gotta figure out how to eat.
Nah, yeah.
If that's the case.
I haven't had hot food with chapped lips. I don't know what that feels like.
Well, you're lucky.
Yeah.
It hurts.
You don't ever want to know.
Before we get deeper into the episode, I do want to just welcome the baddies to this very special episode because, as you notice, Once again, a voice is absent. Alejandro is sick. He's out. Sadly, he cannot be here. We're being safe and we wish you a speedy recovery. And once again, I got my emergency podcast team here. Jules couldn't make it, but I do have my wonderful fiance Melissa Lopez in the studio, and I have my other wonderful fiance Christopher Perry in the studio. So, Baddies, welcome to another episode of ICBTB's Highly Irrelevant. It is a nice Friday afternoon when we're recording this. Oh, what's up, dude?
I was gonna say, I feel like this is like the bench warming episode where we had like third string coming in.
Oh, dude, you guys are like the bench warmers.
Like we're both like, okay.
We're like last resort.
Shouldn't this be flattering? The fact that like you guys are like the ones that I let know.
I honestly did think about that. I was like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
You guys were the first people I thought of, and then like Otis afterwards, but he's not even available. Oh. I mean, what's nice about running this podcast is that I have a bunch of like homies that have my back and want to like have a conversation with me.
I kind of was wishing that one day we'll have an episode where it's just you two.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if that'd be...
If Alejandro was to get sick, not to say Alejandro would be replaced. It'd be, you know
I don't know what you're saying.
Know what
I mean, I don't think she would be down. I mean, she would be down to record something, but it'd just be like couple talk at that point. It'd be a completely different
Couples
show.
Therapy.
Yeah. What if we got in a fight?
We can make it this episode. I could be Dr. Drew.
Okay. And then you'll just give us advice and therapy.
Sure.
And we'll have the baddies drop in the comments.
We once recorded an episode. Well,
yeah.
It was called a Just For Us podcast episode.
Yeah. And it was just for us, which is why it's not out.
Damn.
But dude, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing well. You came over and my mom saw you and I was trying to like show off your tattoos so that I could possibly plant that seed in her mind that, yo, ma, one day I'm gonna have some tattoos.
That's
too.
the toughest. It's hard to sell first generation.
Yeah.
Filipino mom, your idea of getting a tattoo. Like my mom, she accepts it more, but she's kind of like, why? Mm-hmm. But
really, is she like old school? Is your mom old school Filipino?
I wouldn't even say that. She's like a woke Filipino.
Uh-huh.
She knows
she's
what's
a
up.
woke Filipino.
She
so
knows
she's
what's
different.
up. Yeah, she's different, but she's still to her roots at the same time, which I'm super thankful for. It's not like you should be a nurse. It's like if you're gonna do something, work hard. Yeah. So it's like it's a very supportive mom, which I'm.
So she's always been accepting of like your path in life.
Yeah, she roots. She's a great cheerleader.
Wow.
She actually I took my cousin's photos yesterday, and she was like helping, like holding the reflector, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're so cute!"
Sweet.
Oh, that's really sweet.
But to go back to the whole tats and all that, how much of your mom's words affect you getting it or not?
Back in the day, it used to be a lot. Nowadays, not that much. It's my father that I'm definitely afraid of.
That'll do it too.
Because my dad's like a happy person. Like when he's happy, it's happy. It's very contagious. But then like, and now that Melissa lives here, you see more often like how on his off days, like it's a little scary, right? Mm-hmm. Because like he's so used to being like this jolly guy, so that I feel like if I were to do something that upsets him, like. He won't be mad. He'll just be disappointed, which is the worst word an Asian can hear.
Have you had that dialogue about a tat with him? Like,
no, I say I do not bring those words.
I think he would just come home and just have it. I don't even know if he knows that your ears are pierced.
I don't know. Because once again, like I had said before, once you get to really know a person, they don't really look at you as much anymore. As opposed to when you with like first impressions, like if I were to first meet Chris, I'd be able to like observe everything about him. But like Chris is just Chris to me, you know?
Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So what would it take for you to go out and be like, "Hey, Dad, look at my ears"? What's your dad?
Your mom is gonna say something about a tat, though.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think once I'm moved out and once I've made them
lot easier,
feel more proud. Maybe like when I've accomplished a little bit more in life, I could be like, you can't say anything because I'm successful.
You've already accomplished so much, bro.
But it's the childhood trauma of living as an Asian child in an Asian household. That is just, it's just that subconscious guilt that, I mean, we've all grown up with a little bit of.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a mixed baby though. How was that?
You know what's interesting? I was going to joke about it, but I guess we'll get a little bit serious. I feel like as I get older, I feel like I said this last time, but I do really feel when it comes to like acknowledging my Asian roots, there is a sense of pride. I used to be against it when I was a kid, like the Pinoy pride, and I wouldn't even say that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I just feel like whenever I do see representation of an Asian that isn't stereotypical,
Yeah.
it's really like almost kind of emotional a little bit to be like, oh, we're seeing. That's why you guys need to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Which we really want to.
Because the daughter in that movie, the way they portray her is like a true American Asian where it's just like, it's just really well done. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away. But it's even with like 13 Reasons where the Ross Butler actor, he was the tall Asian dude.
Okay.
It's like we're seeing Asian culture in a way that it's relatable for someone like me whose parents weren't very like, my dad's half white, half Japanese, but it's just very American and still, you know, I don't know. It's just cool. I feel like I went on a tangent.
And so like, no. I think I like this tangent that we're going on, and where you find it relatable now that media nowadays is making it like they're putting.
Right. It's not as like, did you forget your fortune cookie?
Oh, dude. Because that wasn't that long ago. That was like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, even like the jokes, you look at an Adam Sandler movie that probably was done back in 2004. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, which really wasn't that long ago as well. But it is cool. My dream is to see a leading Asian man in a movie that has nothing to do
With Asians.
with like that whole,
Or they
like,
don't even bring
where's
it
the
up at all.
lumpia at?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was happy with what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name right now?
Spider-Man?
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, you're
Why am I-
talking about dude from like American Pie.
Dude, why am I forgetting his name?
It's gonna bug me because I know it too.
I can look it up.
Yeah, can you look it up real quick? Because I know it. It's just not popping up to me right now. Anyway, him being the lead in that movie or in that series, as bad as it was, they didn't bring up the fact at all that he's Asian. He's just a leading actor in that movie, right?
Right.
And that's freaking awesome, right? And he's like
Oh, John Cho.
John Cho. Thank you very
what it
much.
is.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Even like with Steven Yeun is also making that kind of stride where he's becoming this leading actor.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, yes, he's done films where it's about him being Asian in an Asian family, but like it's more so he could be the lead of any movie that has nothing to do with that.
Right. And yeah, we'll get there. I think
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think we'll get there someday.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I know, Melissa, we've all dealt with like the Pinoy pride type of thing annoying us because we've grown up around that kind of
Yeah.
culture, and it's kind of cringy when
Yeah.
a lot of people, I think I've talked about it before, but like when Filipinos, they flex their culture without knowing a damn thing about it, right? And am I sounding like a douchebag? Does this sound judgmental? Because let me bring up like an instance. He's a good friend of mine today, but back in the day, he pissed me off once in middle school. This is a weird story. He came up from behind me and he like scooped my titties.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I was like, dude, what? And I was pissed off and I got up and he was like, he was an Asian kid that like flexed his Asian pride and he was wearing like one of those Filipino hats. So me knowing that kind of stuff pissed me off, I took the hat from him and I threw it in the trash. I said, "You know nothing about our culture," and I walked away.
Oh my
Damn.
gosh. This is middle school?
This is middle school, and like it's because
Wow, you're woke.
and I didn't flex like I'm Christian to Filipino. That's what everyone else said, but like I had.
Can we jump back to the whole him coming behind you and doing that?
Yeah. What about it?
Does that like having that happen? Do you feel like you were traumatized as a kid? Like
No.
That's so invasive, though.
because I'm trying to envision if I like I don't know how to put it.
Well, because we are friends, and like we were friends
Yeah.
at the time too. I don't think I wasn't traumatized by it because I invited it too. Because
Then-
my way of making friends was like, hey, I'm Christian. I know I'm overweight. I'm gonna make fun of me being overweight.
What was it then with what caused that reaction to be so like, all right, fuck you now?
I was probably pissed off about a lot of other stuff.
Gotcha.
Like, to be honest, I think I was just trying to eat my lunch. which sounds even fatter, but don't bother me. And then I turned around and I got upset. But I don't know. Yeah.
Well, look at you now, boy.
I mean, can you guys relate to that at all? Not being fat and getting your titties scooped. I don't think girls went around just like
Yeah, that
scooping
would
each
not be
other's
cool.
tits.
Trying to think of a specific example.
I do feel like, because when I reflect on like high school days, I feel like I'm Asian, but I wasn't Asian enough. And I was like, I feel like there were certain things where I just didn't fit in those certain Asian norms, besides like just being a dancer. But even back then, I don't even think dancing was like, because this is like prior to ABDC, which kind of I feel like made dancing even more popular. But like, I never viewed dancing as being like an Asian stereotypical thing as big as it is now. Like I do.
Yeah.
If I meet an Asian, I'm like, you a dancer? I'm like, yeah.
Dude,
I was
it's
like,
common.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my coworker who's Filipino, and he was like kind of grooving in the lab, and I brought up b-boying, and he was just like, yeah, man, I used to b-boy. I'm like, gotcha.
See, you fucking knew.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think I struggled because the court that I grew up in, there was like, we were diverse, but being around mostly kind of the white American crowd, it kind of, I felt like more connected to that side a little bit for some reason. So
I get that.
but I also felt like disconnected because, I'm 25% white, but like, you look at me, you would never know that.
People usually just think you're Asian.
Yeah.
Of some sort,
So it's
right?
like, you feel like I'm getting this approval from my grandpa, who's this white American, who's like the dopest person.
Yeah.
And my mindset is like, oh, all white people are like dope like my grandpa. But then the reality is that's not how it works.
Not at all, dude. Especially growing up, like as an adolescent in the early 2000s, and I had moved to Benicia, just like how white people looked at me differently, right? Because I'd come from Pittsburgh, where it was just like mostly Filipinos, Vietnamese, and Mexicans and black people. Where it's just like, okay, I'm. They're like one of us, right?
Yeah.
But you, Melissa, went to high school in Hercules, and like that's predominantly filled with minorities, right? And so did you ever deal with like racism? Or like micro racism?
In Hercules?
Just in general.
In general, yeah. Well, the time we were driving to LA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
I mean,
was it too?
We were just stuck in traffic, and then people stereotyped us as being Asian drivers and like pulled up next to us and like did the chinky eye thing.
Really?
yeah, they stretched their eyes to the side. It was like, I don't know, two Latino people.
Bro, I really try to I think sometimes if someone did that to me, I wonder how I would genuinely react.
I think I did one of those things where you kind of like chuckle to yourself, but like you're like confused and like angry, and like sometimes it was like a nervous laugh. I was just like, did that really fucking happen?
Yeah.
I think that would probably be my reaction as well.
Because the type of racism that I'm used to today, which is a crazy sentence that like, you getting used to racism because it's just a fucking thing. It's all subtle. It's way more subtle nowadays, right? People have their like subconscious biases about me because of my skin color and whatnot, right? So, yeah, for someone to have done something so savage, like stretch their eyes out, like it's not even clever.
What are the subtle things that people would say that you're used to?
I think it's just like
if someone said, "Hey, you must be like you're good at math, right?"
Yeah, I feel like I've gotten that in high school before. I've definitely heard like slight things like your people,
that especially, or where you came from. I'm just like,
I've never got.
What you mean?
I think because I grew up like near a military base, I didn't really have stuff like that, like for the most part. So it's weird because it's like a melting pot for everyone from around the world.
Right.
They kind of like grow up like that, which is good for this new generation because eventually it's just gonna be everyone's everything,
Yeah, I was having this conversation with some coworkers. They were saying, since we are going in the direction where we are mixed breeding with like different races, just because we are much more inclusive as a society as opposed to before, we are eventually over a long period of time going to have just like one universal type of look because everything will be so mixed. Does that make any sense? We're getting rid of the outliers of just like the pure, like people that are just like only white instead of people that are just like only one
over
ethnicity.
Over
a long time, the pot is just going to get bigger and just melt more things in it. There's going to be like one kind of universal look, which is kind of weird, right?
That is very weird to think of, especially now, because like obviously we're not going to be there, like we're not going to be alive to witness that.
Yeah.
But like, just to think of like, oh, like there's no more black people, or like no more just white people, or no more just us, you know. And also, I guess just mixing like one skin color and just only seeing that, really, I think that kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
Yeah, it's freaking trippy.
I don't know.
Going down that hole.
Are you guys happy with how you look, though?
I thought you were just about to ask him, am I happy?
Are you guys happy? I mean, that's a bigger question that I know will take forever.
I feel like no one's ever completely happy with how they look. You know what I mean?
No matter how attractive you objectively
Correct.
are, you could look in the mirror for a long time and find 100 flaws.
I think it's like everyone has their days, you know, where they're like, I'm happy with how I look today, or today just ain't it, you know.
I'm feeling myself today, and then there's another day. It's just like I've been doing this thing in front of Melissa, where I'm just like, I lift up my shirt and I'll just start like smacking my stomach, and I'll be like, "Go away, go away."
Could you imagine just like pieces of like skin just falling down every hit, just like
That'd be nice. I wish I could just
Chiseling.
sculpt myself that fast.
You're doing great. Can we all just acknowledge?
No, I didn't bring this up so that we could like
the jawline
Stop.
both of these beautiful people.
This is where I'm gonna edit in
The
like
hard
double
work,
chins.
the hard work that they've been putting in these past few months.
It's
Maybe like a month.
Days.
Thank you
You
very
know,
much. Thank you very
The
much.
discipline. I'm proud of you guys.
You're making
Thank
me
you.
very shy right
Yeah,
now.
I'm very shy.
No,
But
because even watching you eat, the fact, you know, talking about your intermediate, what is it?
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
You know what it is.
I got you. I got what you're saying.
That shit's not fun. You know?
Have you tried it before?
Yeah.
No, because I feel like I've always needed to eat more, so I never had to really.
Because you have that metabolism where you could eat a good amount of calories and you're gonna revert back to what it is.
Yeah, but there was a period where I was like, kind of, not overweight, but like at a weight where, you know, with my height and my age, wasn't necessarily the best shape to be in. So I know I could get there again if I don't stay active. So I'm like, I don't want to get there again.
When you stay active, like when you work out, do you want to work out, or is it like guilt based?
I like the fact that like I got this tattoo. Like I was just literally like, I went onto Google because I forgot to ask Jesse, the tattoo artist. Shout out.
Nice.
I forgot to ask like, when can I work out again? And people are saying like, it just varies on the location. But I want to like lift again, but I'm gonna wait maybe 2 weeks.
Wait, if you get a tattoo in a certain place, you can't work out?
Well, it's like if you get it like where I got it, working out like curling, it's probably not the best because it's still in the healing
Because you're
process.
moving the skin around.
Yeah, because right now it feels tight
Ah.
because the skin is dead.
Ah.
So it's almost at its like shedding.
Ah.
It'll shed soon.
Oh, and it does shed. Do you have to walk around with saran wrap too when it happens?
Not necessarily. I've been wearing long sleeves like on shoots because I don't want like to bump into someone. Like my cousin bumped into my arm yesterday. I was like, oh my god,
It hurts that bad.
it hurt.
Well, it's not like a tattoo. Like if right after it's done and like you run into something, it smears, right?
You know, it's not. But for some reason, when my cousin bumped into me yesterday, I thought that. And I was like, oh my god,
Is
the
everything where it
ink
is?
is gone. Exactly. I was like, oh my god.
You can
Damn,
put
dude.
ointment on it too. Like I hear you can put Aquaphor
Yeah.
on it too.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. But like, yeah, going back to like the working out. And
Yeah.
once you get to that place, I feel like you're well disciplined once it's enjoyable. Like when you wake up and you're like, I want to work out, and I think that's with anything, with like meditation, working out, just staying consistent with whatever it is that you want to improve on. You know,
I think I'm at that level. I mean, like last year and during COVID, it was always I would try to work out. I wouldn't do it as often or as vigorous as I would do it today, but it was always guilt-based. And I think you need a balance of that, I think, but you also need a healthier balance of wanting to do it. Because because I grew up fat and me being terrified, literally having nightmares of like waking up in like sweating and like making sure my neck is still there.
Jesus.
Is like, okay, I have to like at least go for a run every now and then. Like, of course, like throughout the years of like dating her, like I've gotten a little pudgier and like back and forth. But
it's not her fault.
It's definitely not her fault.
He tells me otherwise.
But she's a factor. She's a factor. She'll come up.
Relationships can. Okay, I don't even want to dive into that.
Say the statement and we'll go past it.
Anything's possible.
That was not the statement you were going to go into.
Everyone know. Y'all know the facts.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
I mean, regardless, I'm not blaming her. It's a lot of it at the end of the day. It's like I have control of what I put into my mouth. I should say that differently.
But why did that hit so late in my head? I was like, oh wait.
I should say that differently. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm putting the spoon up to my mouth, right? I'm the one chewing and I'm the one swallowing. You guys know what I'm saying? It sounds stupid now.
At the end of the day,
comedian.
you have control of what you put in your body.
Exactly. These are all pseudosexual at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, and like working out, I always felt guilty if I didn't do it that day. Now I want to do it. Now it feels good.
That's dope.
I was telling her I go out for runs now, and for like more than half of my run, I'll have runner's high. And I don't know if you had a runner's high before.
I haven't ran in so long. I'm trying to build up my stamina to get back into running, but we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. But no, what does it feel like?
It's euphoria. Like you hit the pocket. Like you hit a certain stride, and like it just feels good to run. I'm listening to like the right music, and I'm literally getting goosebumps as I'm running.
That's beautiful.
Or I'm just like sprinting and like going hard, and it feels great. And I haven't felt that feeling as often as I am now ever since like 2012 when I first initially lost weight.
So what happens when you run now and you don't feel that? Does that make you? Yeah. What's that?
Yeah,
feeling?
I think I get like withdrawals. I'm just like, how come it's not hitting? How come it's not
You're like
hitting?
you're like the Flash. You're like, wait, why don't I feel like super awesome right now?
Yeah, it's like it's a slog, right? At that point. And then I'm learning a lot about like my body and like my willpower and my etiquette. And I'm like, okay, it's like basically just troubleshooting. And I'm thinking like, oh, it's because I didn't get enough sleep yesterday, you dumb. So you don't have energy right now.
Sleep is so important.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like recovery.
Oh yeah.
And energy and like your cortisol levels too.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, that's why when I hear people like getting only like 4 to 5 hours, I'm like,
that's
I get it. It's like the minimum, maybe if that. But I'm like, still, if you could sleep more, take time to sleep.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
I get like a good 7, 8. Like
Looks like it. Yeah.
Dang.
You never look tired unless it's the end of the day.
You know what's crazy? I feel tired like a lot.
Why?
Especially like this week. We're just like, I'm always looking at a computer screen. I'm always like slouching. I'm always just by myself editing, working. It's like, and you got FaceTime here with the homies, but it's like you just feel drained and you're just like,
But I think that's because of like what you're doing. It's not necessarily you're not getting enough rest. Right.
It's work.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back into that feeling, because I've been trying to get on my meditation hype and like be really consistent, and I reached a point too where I felt that like, holy shit, like the good like that real like. Yeah. Namaste.
Is that, I don't know, there has to be a word for it, right?
Euphoria almost. You know what I mean? And then I caught myself when I would try to meditate, trying to chase that feeling again. And then when I didn't get that feeling, I was like, well, what the fuck's the point?
Oh, that's how you would take it?
Well, like that quick second. And then I was like, oh, the point is consistency and realizing that what I'm doing right now in the long term will be beneficial. Like the way I handle myself will be a lot better if I just do 10 minutes, 5 minutes a day, whatever the case may be. So like with running, it's like you feel that euphoria. It's dope. You do it the next day. It's not really there, but like 5 months from now, you're going to be fucking being able to, your stamina's on point. Your consistency led to something very positive, which is like,
I think that's what a lot of people like nowadays, since everything is just handed to us and spoon fed, if you want something, go on the internet, go on Amazon, you could get it. No one wants to work for anything nowadays. No one knows what consistency means anymore. They just want a
quick fix.
Unless they're forced to do it. Yeah, they want quick fixes.
Like with losing weight, for example, I don't know. Like people will just lose weight so fast and not really sustainably, and then can gain it back twice as hard or like twice as fast. Yeah.
It's like, and it's because people have this mindset of, oh, I was good yesterday. I ate a salad. I could have a burger. And it doesn't work that way. It's not transactional. You could easily take one step forward and just jump 10 feet back,
For you, and I'm not saying that you gained hella weight, but like you were one weight, you lost a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. You inclined a little bit.
Because of her, yeah.
And then now you're at this point, right?
Yes.
So, like, mentally, like, are you, like, is there that awareness of, like, I can't get to that place again, and if I do, I'll be okay? Or is it, like, if you get there again, does it affect you, like, super negatively? Like, how does that work for you?
I fear it. I do fear it, but I've been telling myself that if I'm here now, and I know how I got here now, I can think about how I got here, and I could apply that then. I don't know how I'm going to feel at the time and what will cause me to gain weight again. I know that it's very possible with the body type that I have, and it will always affect me negatively.
Right.
Everything, I don't know. I am a sensitive performer that needs validation, hence why I have this podcast, hence why I want to sing, and hence why I want to like make people laugh.
Remember that. I'm going to bring some shit up later, but remember that.
What? That's scary.
Are you done? Or are you going to keep going?
Oh my God. What? Are you going to just like make me cry? What does that mean?
I'm about to grill you.
I'm not going to grill you, but I'm going to be a friend. Okay. More so, maybe even like a brother.
Okay. What are you going to say?
Oh, on the pod? Right now?
Go right now.
We don't. Should I do it? Pod?
I have the ability to edit it out. Future Christian, edit this out if it's just
okay.
It's really mean.
No, it's not. Remember that one night? I'm not going to go into too deep. Are you talking about your singing?
Yes. Okay.
Can I? Is it okay to talk about it?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think that was my first time seeing you emotional about your passion as far as singing. Because the night started cool. We were all doing karaoke and shit.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you just expressed which is beautiful. But I feel like I'm gonna fucking just. I've been wanting to put this on the record. That way, that it's all love. Because you are a fucking talented person.
Thank you.
And I hope that with the singing world that you continue, whenever you can, to push for that. If it feeds your soul and it brings you happiness. Yeah. Because I think that's really key in making sure that we're human. We have to be happy. And I feel like if that's something that's going to make you happy, you can do it.
Thank you.
And I don't know what that is. Like I was, after the fact that I talked to Jules about it, I was like, is outsider looking in, it's so easy for me to be like, you could just do a fucking open mic and go sing and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know what it's like to be a singer. So I don't know how you necessarily feed that side. Is it just like literally being by yourself and singing? Does that feed it, or
that feeds it? That's like, maybe that's just like an appetizer,
right?
But like how long can I eat calamari without eventually getting to the steak?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm on a diet, so it's not meat and potatoes, dude.
Ooh, calamari.
I'm avoiding the starch, and the calamari is lightly breaded.
Let's just say though, like life is too short to be always so like, I'm only gonna eat this. Like
that's facts.
It is.
Just enjoy some foods every once in a while.
That is facts.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Leave that all in. It was very nice.
Okay.
Everything he said. You made it sound like it was gonna be
cry.
like, hey man, I'm about to just like tear you
No,
up.
because
right now.
I think I'm not the only one. I can speak for the other baddies. Is that people love those videos of you singing. It does something for real. Like it is like uplifting, especially your style of singing. It's not the fucking like that was that should say. It's like
It's one more time.
It's like it's singing. It's that authentic, not the TikTok singing. You know what I mean? It's
I
like
see.
you can tell you have passion for it.
I appreciate that. I want to get back into. I wanted to do it this week, but I was just so exhausted.
Excuses.
And
No,
like
like-
it's this podcast takes up so much of my time, and it definitely feeds something within me that's not being fed if I didn't have it, right? That's like I used to perform. I used to do comedy improv prior to this. This is feeding that.
right.
But I also used to sing with like an a cappella group. I also just used to perform with the band. I also used to do like a bunch of gigs, and I don't have that anymore. And I wish I had more time, but now like life is just ramping up.
Yeah, I feel
And
that.
I half of my week is gone because I'm working like crazy and I'm exhausted. And all I want to do is sing. But with that, I have to like prep. I also have to prep. I have to edit it as well. I edit all of this.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, man. There's no feeling. As much as I love this podcast, there is no feeling in the world that is like singing. That's why, like, Baddies, for some context, I know we were talking kind of ambiguously about, like, me and Chris hanging out. A few weeks ago, we hung out, we sang karaoke, and I started playing this Etta James song that she sang live. I'd Rather Go Blind live. And you see the passion in her eyes and her feel, like, you see her connection with the audience, and they're just one. And I felt that feeling before. I've had a taste of it, and I haven't had that in so long, and it makes me emotional. I feel like I'm wasting my time on this earth if I'm not doing that. But how can I do that? Because there's so many expectations from society for me to do this. Christian, pay your bills. Christian, go to work. Christian, make all these calls. Do all these things. And I get spread thin every now and then, and I it's a lot of pressure, and I fucking miss it.
Yeah, it's fucking heavy, bro.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, the fact that you can appreciate those subtle nuances and watching her perform, it says a lot. Like, you genuinely do love it. And I think, Jules just she choreographed Pippin, right?
Yeah.
And I did some photos for them, and then I watched some of the performances. And at first it was like, in my head, it was like, oh, I'm just going to support my wife and, help her, like, whatever I can for the show, the littlest things. But then I found myself, when I watched the show, especially, I watched it like probably 3 times.
Wow, you're so supportive.
And that's what I was, because eventually it went from being just like that supportive husband to being like, these fucking kids they put so much in it, and just watching it, I felt like I fucking was like, damn, I'm so happy for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me enjoy the show even more. Sadly, with COVID, it got cut short.
That's what I saw.
But when that happened, I felt sad for them. Like, I genuinely was like, fuck, that sucks.
Because what that feeling's like.
Right.
To be on stage, to make people happy. And that's what they were feeling.
But that's the thing. It wasn't even about like a me thing. Like, I felt that before. It was like them, which is when I was like how I view like your situation. It's like, obviously I'm an artist too, and I felt what you're feeling, but it's different when you can see a passion in someone, and you're like, fuck, like certain life circumstances have to like take that shit away sometimes. And that's where it's like, it's sad, because everyone's hopeless in that situation. I can't really make your work schedule life easy. I can't tell them like, oh, COVID like will be gone in like 30 years. You'll be like, it's just like, I can only empathize and like just be like, you have it. I hope if you get the chance to do something, you do it, kind of thing.
I appreciate that, man. I do.
Fuck
And
yeah,
I think
dude.
that's what we're all here for, right? To
Yeah.
kind of just like to be the people on the outside looking in and to be able to empathize and support. I mean, that's what she's been for me. These last few months have been tough for me, but I don't know, man. It's like it is kind of ironic that we are put on this earth and we are given the ability to love people and to love doing things.
Yeah.
Yet society, something that we've created so that we could function on this planet, is one thing that hinders us from loving people sometimes, that hinders us from doing these things that we love, right? So that we could, it sucks that necessity counteracts, it conflicts with passion, right?
Right.
Dude, it's like,
well, that's the thing that always like I battle with is I feel like we've talked about this off mic, but like we'll say just so like maybe the audience can think about it too. The baddies is, are you okay? And this goes to you as well.
I'm listening.
Are you okay? Like work related, art, like, you know, your passion related, like you can put all this fucking work and passion into something and you won't get to where you like know you're meant to be.
am I okay with that?
Are you okay with that realization? Like,
I've always told myself this. I've never needed fame or fortune from anything. I don't care.
right.
I've always dreamt about doing what I love and it being able to supply what I need,
Right.
which is exactly what I'm talking about, where it's saying like necessities conflict with my passions. Because right now my job is great. It's stable. They take care of me and whatnot. But am I happy looking at stainless steel every single day and looking like a Costco food worker? No. I want to be on stage. I want to be able to sing. I want to be able to like to do it and to feel good that I'm with the time that I'm putting into it. And to, I don't know. It's a vicious thing,
Yeah.
man. It's a vicious thing. What say you, lady over there?
I guess I'm kind of like in the same boat too. Like, obviously, I miss performing, but I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I have a job that like also treats me well, pays well, and supplies me with that allows me to have flexibility with my time. And I feel like time is so much more important than money, because money will come and go and time will never wait for anyone. And in terms of like passion, of course, like dancing will always be there, and like it's something that I can always revert to if I want to just do that just for fun, or like, you know, be a part of a gig or like whatever showcase. But I just feel like because I've done that so much early on in my life, like high school, a little bit in college, I feel that I am just in a good place with other things right now. And like that's something that will always have my back.
Right.
Just dance.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
How about you?
Do you have a joke? Does anyone have a joke to light off
No,
the mood?
nothing. This is where Alejandro usually comes in.
What would Alejandro say?
He'd be
You're
like,
in his chair.
I know. I did say something out of pocket, but I ain't gonna say
He'd
it
be like,
again.
remember
we'll
World
tell
War
you
II?
after.
Remember World War II when things were great? Is what he would say, or some shit like that. The lizard people,
He has some valid points and valid stories, though.
Who, him?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. To a lot of people, you're probably like the dream too. You know, you are doing.
It's the grass is always greener, the scenario. Like, I think at our age, that like it hits harder. Like, people who are buying houses and people with kids. We're at this stage where it's like that shit is happening, and you're like, I really try not to let that bother me sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm human. Like, it's like I know what I'm capable of, and I sometimes feel like you know, I'm at a point where it's like I have the talent, I have the skill, I have the, you know, the work history. I know I can fucking do a lot of things. And I feel like I tell Jules, the only thing now is like the connections is who you know.
Yeah.
And I've been busy so much, like trying to do my own thing, that I was like, I haven't built like solid connections. Cause I know I can do a lot of good shit. And it's like, if I just had that one connect, it could like help me. And not even like a fame thing, just like something that could be more consistent, like a consistent basis. Like I'll be straight. But I know that both Chris and I we're working towards that. But you know, you put X amount of years into something and you're just kind of not jaded, but you're like, will it come? Like kind of questioning it. And I think me and Chris, we've talked about that before, where we're like, we're okay not being on a big movie Hollywood set, but we're wanting what, you know, how you're describing, just like we are able to live off what we do, but we want to be even, if we could be more comfortable, you know, that'd be great.
Do you think you'd be able to make better connections? Do you think it's like a location thing? Do you think being
that's
the
where
Bay Area?
I feel like you can make great connections anywhere. I feel like that's where we're at in this time. It's like it, you know, I think, you know, is someone in LA gonna fly me out compared to someone who's already down there and, you know, accessible? That's where it's like different. But I do feel like if someone from LA is visiting for 6 months, you build a solid ass connection, they move back down, they probably would fly me out because they know who I am as a person and they're like, he's worth it. So I think anything's possible. I need to put myself out there more.
Have you ever thought about moving away from the Bay Area to do what you love?
I think we have, but like realistically, it's tough because then it's like we're genuinely starting from scratch. Yeah. Where from here we've built solid connections, but not in the field. Like, you know, we have some stuff with corporate jobs and weddings, but we do want to do like, you know, a short film stuff and like more stuff that's more focused on the art rather than the business.
Yeah. Something more creative.
Exactly.
Because here, like, you're making other people's dreams come true, right? You are making them look beautiful. You're making their event look beautiful. But at the same time, do you ever feel like, man, how much of this is for us? Right?
Yeah. We think about that a lot. I think we had to shift our viewpoint though. Like the way I look at it now is like, I've always loved documentaries. So like, instead of creating it to be, you know, of this beautiful video, it's how do I document this day in its most authentic way? That way, when I do edit it, they look back at it and it's like, oh shit, you capture this like in such a cool way, but you're still staying true to who we are as people. We're not like, you know, we're not this. Yeah, it's just being authentic to whoever we work with. And that's, you know, behind the scenes and on camera. We want to make sure that we're not selling our souls at the end of the day. And we're just like, you know.
Because it's still art at the end of the day. And it's still your art at the end of the day. Dude, I mean, like, I could never imagine you working an office type job. I could never imagine you working.
If anything, I'm a grunt worker. I'll clean bathrooms. I'll like, you tell me to, you know, that's the person I am. Like,
that's your example to go to. You want to clean bathrooms? Well,
that's what I did. Like right after high school, I was like cleaning bathrooms at my old school district and just.
You were a janitor of some sort.
The term, it was just,
you know, like youngest.
You know, like those after. It's like literally after high school, you have those like easy jobs. It was like one of those things. It wasn't like I was. Yeah.
But they had to have
it was humbling.
Fucked up those
it was
bathrooms.
Humbling though.
Right?
It was one of those things where I like, I'm not gonna do that in a bathroom anymore. Right. Like I'm not gonna just like spit my gum and like throw it somewhere, like do graffiti or.
Did you do that?
No, because I worked that job.
No, even before that. Did you used to like?
I just like I've done stuff like that. You know,
you've thrown your gum. I think I've
gum under a table.
I felt immediately guilty after I've done that as a kid. Once I put it under the table, I'm like, there's no going back. I can't just like it was.
Well,
like,
then you try to get it off, but then you make it worse because you smear it.
and I'm touching a bunch of other old gum.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
that's
I
what
would
we had to
stop it.
clean. I remember, having to get the little scraper and like clean it up. And
Oh, that's gross, man.
but dude, as I was doing it, no fucking lie, bro. I was listening to Celine Dion and what's the dude's name? Andre, the blind guy, the prayer.
Andre Bocelli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my fucking motivation to never do that. For some reason, that was like that. The prayer was something that was like, you're gonna get out of this, and you're gonna fucking do what you love for a living. This shit is just, it was
That song specifically.
Because when I think about the prayer, I think about like you praying to God and stuff making. Even though I don't know what this, I haven't really ciphered out the song, but that was my like, we gonna get out of here. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna,
Isn't it crazy that like music has that power?
Bro, every time I hear that song, it puts me back to that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit. Like I work out to Broadway songs and like Whitney Houston.
Nice.
Like I get like the tempo aspect of people are like, you need something fast, but I like a fucking ballad, like a Michael Bolton will get me like going, bro.
Alejandro used to make fun of me about working out to like slow music, and like sometimes I just need that kind, like the emotion that I need to feel to work out hard doesn't always have to be like angry hip hop.
Get the fuck out of your feet.
Yeah.
Fucking feel it in your feet.
Pump, 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 pump.
Just yesterday,
it up.
though, we were working out at City Sports, and you're like, I'm about to put on like our hype music because we have a playlist together. I'm like, I think I'll put on some simpy music.
Yeah,
for
she was
me.
putting on some simpy music.
Yeah, I was like, I need to like be in my field.
Yeah.
I'm into some like angry Kanye Yeezus hip hop right now.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Like, that'll get me going.
that helps me.
But
too.
also my other like playlist is like are like love songs or like or like, because I have this specific scenario, not that I'm just thinking about like how I was treated when I was fat. And like the songs that I used to listen to when I was fat, I was such a simpy romantic, and I'd listen back to that, and it'd bring me back to that moment. And I'm running, I'm like, I'll show you guys.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys.
And it gives
Like
you that
low up.
extra push, dude. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. I feel bad for hunter-gatherers that worked out back in the day with no music. They're just like,
They're like,
They had each other.
break my heart, someone break my fucking heart real fast.
yeah, so I could take down this mammoth.
Or they're like, oh.
Yeah, that's really offensive. I have a few friends that are cavemen, and they really don't like
You
that.
from Berkeley?
Oh, whoa, that's messed up. You calling people from Berkeley cavemen? They're just weird.
Damn,
They're
that's
just
right.
hippies.
Oh boy. All right. I think it's been enough like deep talk. Do we want to do an improv scene, or is it not even fitting right now?
We'll save that for
improv for me.
Alejandro.
We'll save it for Alejandro.
For his
Baddies,
comeback.
I know that this is a different type of episode. You guys are used to laughs, but we're
gotta get
sensitive
deep
people in here.
sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. I feel like if it's us three, even Jules, but Jules is good with the humor. Like she's
Yeah.
good to bring it back. I feel like off mic, I'm too self-conscious to try to be funny. So
off mic.
What?
on my, I don't fucking
Off
know.
mic and on
Whatever.
mic. If you feel self-conscious, it's stupid. Oh God, whatever the fuck. Edit that out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right, then we'll just like end it around here. Baddies, I know you guys are used to like laughs and giggles,
Look at
but
that
I hope that
pose.
this provided you guys with some insight. I hope that you are
Hopefully.
okay with us being vulnerable on this podcast, because I don't always like to deflect my real life emotions with humor. That is just a defense mechanism. And it's something that I deal with, and I think it's okay to talk about your feelings sometimes. Is there anything you want to say, my lady friend?
Eat good, drink good. Don't always count your calories because life's too short.
Yeah. But
I don't
also
know. But also, watch
count your
what you
calories
eat.
when it gets to like 4,000. There's like someone morbidly obese out there listening to
4,000
you.
calories?
There's some people that could put it down. Tostito pizza rolls.
Nah, that's too much.
They could put
don't
it down.
Do that.
Bagel, like any sleepover in high school that I had, thousands of calories I'd be able to put down.
Also,
For
sleep is
real.
important. Try to
Yeah.
get 7 hours of
Good luck
sleep.
with that. Good luck with that. How about you, Christopher Perry?
Oh man, just keep doing y'all thing. Support the
You're doing
podcast.
your thing.
Love one another if you can. Try to find the good in people. Let Keanu Reeves guide you.
There you go. There you go. Very specific actor to refer to. But, all right, baddies. We're out of here. I expected for this kind of energy, weirdly enough. I was thinking about like, oh, okay, we're going to have Chris and Melissa in the studio. We're probably
The
just like...
two low energy folks.
We're just gonna fucking.
You guys aren't low energy. It's just like the energy is
not Alejandro energy.
Vulnerable energy. Dang, calling him
Oh,
out.
I'm calling.
Start the war.
That's fine.
Best to end the episode. What's your best impersonation of Alejandro?
Dicks.
What, guys? What the fuck?
Oh my god! No, this is him.
Hold on.
This is him. Ah!
He'll just scream.
You haven't seen that movie? We love you, Papa.
We love you. Feel better.
Feel better. For
Don't be sensitive about like us just doing that. Once again, comedy is a defense mechanism, and we're just defensive of our real emotions, which we just spoke about. But yeah, baddies, you know where to find us. Not even gonna say it. If you got it this far, then you really just wanted to get to know us. If you know, you know. We'll see you next time. We love you. Take it easy. Drive safe. Wash your hands.